they should be scared of. Not you, not Mr. J, because I'm Harley freaking Quinn!
2020 is set to be another big year for comic book adaptations. Black Widow, The Eternals, Wonder Woman 1984, and not to mention the overwhelming amount of comic book TV shows on the horizon. But yet only one property has lingered in my mind constantly since the first trailer was released. Birds of Prey seems to come out of nowhere for me. I barely paid any attention to it when it was announced, and now it's probably the film I'm most looking forward to seeing as far as comic book films go. I've seen the trailer multiple times, and every time I've gotten a visceral reaction from seeing it. So why is that? Allow me to explain. Let me preface by saying I know very little, if anything, about the film's director, Cathy Yan. Since her feature film debut, Dead Pigs has yet to see an American release. There's very little work that I could find. But given the multiple articles about how she landed the job directing the titular DC Comics film, it's very apparent that she has something to say with the material. It's reported that she beat out several more established directors for the gig. She's described the film as Pulp Fiction meets Rashomon, which as a film fan sounds like one of the more exciting combinations I've heard as of recently. Executive producer and leading star Margot Robbie stated that after she had seen Dead Pigs, it left no doubt on Yan's talent. Even from the very early trailers, it is clear that it is being led by a filmmaker with a clear vision, which is really exciting given the state of comic book movies at this time. Most comic book films released outside of the recent DC films feel as though they've been directed by a committee instead of a single storyteller with a vision. So it's good to see Birds of Prey and future upcoming DCU films like Matt Reeves' upcoming The Batman changing the landscape of current comic book films. The DCEU has come a long way since the Zack Snyder era. In the post-Snyder days, DC has begun making smaller budget films that give directors much more creative control as they are less of a risk for the studio. It seems that Warner Brothers and DC have changed their complete approach since the well-publicized failure of Justice League. They have in turn gone back to what they know how to do best and crafting smaller, more intimate stories about their characters to great success. Especially with both Aquaman, Joker, and Shazam getting a more positive critical reception, and with Joker and Aquaman grossing slightly over $1 billion worldwide, it seems that the future is looking bright for the DCEU. Birds of Prey seems to be following suit with a budget of around 75 to a little bit below 100 million as the estimated budget, especially with reports and early trailers showcasing that this will be a much smaller story that is more focused on Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey, and Black Mask shows that DC is going to continue going through with its recent string of smaller, more character-driven comic book films. This has been Channel Surfer T, and if you've reached the end of the video, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.